You keep trying to earn more money. That's the mistake. Because money isn't something you earn directly, it's something that responds to what you are. And right now, it's responding accurately. That's the uncomfortable part. Most people don't like sitting with that idea. It feels easier to believe something external is blocking you, your boss, the economy, bad timing, bad luck. And sometimes those things do matter. But even within those constraints, there are people who move differently, who rise anyway, who find ways to create opportunities where others see limits. So the question becomes uncomfortable but necessary. What's different about them? Because if money is a response, then it's reacting to something specific, something measurable, something real. You can work harder, stay longer, do more, and still feel stuck, not because the system is broken, but because your value hasn't changed in a way the world recognizes. That's the part people miss. They increase effort, but not impact. They increase hours, but not leverage. They increase activity, but not importance. Effort feels important, it feels productive, it feels honest, it feels like progress. But value is what gets paid, and the two are not the same. You can spend 10 hours doing something that creates almost no value, and 1 hour doing something that changes everything. The world doesn't reward how much you try, it rewards how hard you are to replace. That's the shift most people avoid. Because becoming hard to replace requires change. It requires discomfort. It requires letting go of the identity you've been comfortable with, the reliable one, the agreeable one, the always available one. They focus on being liked, being helpful, being available. They become easy to access, easy to ignore, easy to forget. And at first, it feels like the right thing to do. People appreciate you, they rely on you, they come to you often. But over time, something subtle happens. Respect doesn't increase, it stabilizes or even drops. Because what is always available is rarely valued at a high level. Then they wonder why nothing moves, why the promotion doesn't come, why the income stays flat, why opportunities seem to pass them by. But think about it, what do people actually pay for? Not kindness, not loyalty, not potential. Those things matter, but they are not what commands money. They pay for solutions they can't easily find somewhere else. They pay for certainty, they pay for outcomes, they pay for access, they pay for leverage. And if you don't have that, you're competing in the most crowded space possible, where everyone is interchangeable, where the only differentiator left is price. And competing on price is a race to the bottom. There will always be someone willing to do it cheaper, always. That's why increasing your value isn't optional, it's the only real strategy. And value doesn't come from doing more, it comes from becoming more necessary, from being the person who understands something others don't, from being able to do something others can't, from being willing to take responsibility for outcomes others avoid. That means building skills that are rare, not just trendy, not just popular, but difficult. Skills that require time, depth, and focus, because difficulty creates a barrier, and barriers create scarcity. Solving problems others avoid, the complicated ones, the messy ones, the ones with no clear instructions. Because most people move away from difficulty, they look for shortcuts, easier paths, faster wins. So when you move toward what others avoid, you automatically reduce your competition. Positioning yourself where your absence will be felt, not just where your presence is appreciated, but where your absence creates a gap, a delay, a problem. Because the moment losing you becomes a problem, your value changes instantly. People don't negotiate the same way with someone they can't afford to lose. But there's another layer to this, scarcity. Not artificial scarcity, not playing games, real scarcity. If you're always available, always saying yes, always within reach, you lose weight. Your time feels unlimited. And anything that feels unlimited feels low in value. Familiarity makes you easy to overlook, not because people are bad, but because humans adapt quickly. What's always there becomes invisible. People don't value what they can access anytime. they value what they might lose. So when you start protecting your time, your energy, your attention, people notice. At first, there might be resistance. People might question it. They might push back, because you're changing the pattern they were comfortable with. But patterns define perception. And when the pattern changes, so does how you're seen, not because you announced it, but because access to you is no longer guaranteed. That shift alone increases your perceived value. And perception drives decisions more than reality ever will. People don't always analyze deeply, they respond to signals. Availability is a signal, confidence is a signal, boundaries are a signal. And together, those signals shape how seriously you're taken. Then comes competence, not surface-level skill, but real, undeniable ability, the kind that doesn't need to be explained, the kind that shows in results. Because attention might open the door, but results decide whether you stay. You might get an opportunity because of how you present yourself, but you keep it because of what you can actually do. If you can't deliver, nothing else matters. Not your personality, not your intentions, not your effort. But if you can, consistently, you don't have to chase opportunities. They start finding you. People begin to recommend you. Your name comes up in rooms you've never entered. Because results travel quietly, but powerfully. That's when things begin to change, not suddenly, but steadily. You stop feeling desperate. You stop needing every opportunity. You stop saying yes to things that don't align. You stop negotiating from need. You start choosing from options. And that leads to the most important advantage of all, the ability to walk away. That's real power, because the moment you need something too badly, a job, a deal, a person, you lose leverage. You start compromising. You accept terms you normally wouldn't. You tolerate things you shouldn't, and people can feel that, even if you don't say it. But when you can walk away, you shift the entire dynamic. You're no longer trying to convince. You're evaluating. You're no longer hoping. You're deciding. People treat you differently when they know you're not dependent. They listen more closely. They take you more seriously. They respect boundaries they would have ignored before, not because you demanded it, because they felt it. And that feeling comes from a simple place. You have options. And options come from value, from scarcity, from competence, from positioning. And all of this builds toward one thing, reputation. What people believe about you when you're not there. What gets said after you leave the room. What people expect before you even begin. If you're known for delivering, for being sharp, for being reliable. Doors open before you knock. Opportunities reach out before you search. Trust is given before it's tested. If you're known for being average, inconsistent, replaceable, those doors never appear. Not because someone is blocking you, but because no one is looking for you. And once that perception is set, it compounds, slowly at first, then all at once. Opportunities, connections, money, they all follow it. They build on each other, they reinforce each other. And over time, the gap between people who understand this and people who don't becomes massive. So if money isn't moving in your life, don't just look at your effort, look deeper. Look at your value, look at how rare you are, look at how necessary you are, look at how clearly your work connects to results, look at how easily you can be replaced, and be honest about it. Because clarity, even when it's uncomfortable, is useful. It tells you exactly what needs to change. Because money doesn't obey hard work. Not directly. It obeys positioning. It obeys scarcity. It obeys leverage. And all three are within your control if you're willing to change how you operate. If you're willing to stop measuring yourself by effort alone. If you're willing to become someone the market can't easily ignore. Increase those, and everything else follows.